Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another edition of Wrestling Talks and Thoughts. I am your host, Saheem the Dream, always Swayze, never lazy, forever wavy. Holla at your boy.
And it's your boy, the Saturday Night Delight, the Saturday Night Messiah, here, the good, your boy J Mac Main.
J Mag Mizzle. So we're going to get into some news and rumors real quick. We got some interesting topics that we want to talk about. Let's get into it. Yeah. So Michelle McCool on using a condom for the first time. Michelle McCool, don't be strapping up. Let me find out she out there. You gonna do shoot up the club real early before Undertaker came.
Yeah, Taker's probably having fun with that. But so Michelle McCool did post on her Instagram and her Twitter that she used a condom for the first time.
Yeah.
Now I know a lot of you pervs are thinking like, wow, damn, you must be a little freak. But no, it's not what you think. So Michelle McCool recently went to vote, and with her going to vote, they had her use a condom and put on her finger for protection, I guess to prevent the spread of COVID or whatever like that. So that's the reason why she used a condom. Then she went into further elaborate to say, you know what, I know you guys are thinking negative, but just so you know, yes, I did save myself for marriage. So it seems like the Undertaker was the first and the only one tapping that. So
the Undertaker was the only person that parked this Big Mac truck in that little garage, huh?
seems like it.
Interesting. So okay, that's cool. That's cool. It's cool to know that she saved herself for marriage. That's cool. Here's another interesting topic. EC3 claims WWE stole his Raw Underground idea from him, which I thought was very interesting. So it says, article says, Ring of Honor star EC3 has claimed that WWE stole the idea for Raw Underground from him after watching the narrative cinematic wrestling video, which he released on YouTube channel back in July. The video, which can be seen, that was released soon after EC3 completed his 90-day non-compete clause with the WWE after he was fired in April. According to EC3, he pitched a Fight Club type concept to WWE and even set a promo video to WWE's creative team. Wow. While working with the WWE and even during my NXT run, this is what EC3 is saying. I pitched this exact same thing about controlling my narrative, and this is what I wanted to do with the EC3 character, he said on this week's Ring of Honor Strong podcast. The day I was released was when I sent them a vignette with verbatim the exact words I used in the video released online. Interesting. So WWE has been known for stealing some ideas, like even CM Punk voiced that the Shield idea was actually his, and how they credit Seth Rollins for being the architect of the Shield when it was actually his idea. And it was actually supposed to be Chris Hero in the group and not Roman Reigns. So we know WWE has their moments of stealing ideas. If it's not copywritten, it's taken.
Right, whatever's not nailed down, free game.
Chad Gable on dropping Shorty G name. Crazy Jeff Hardy, WWE Raw moments, trademarks. All right, so it's a typo. But Shorty G finally drops his name. Shorty G is gone, and Chad Gable was back after Gable announced his dropping of the name on last night's SmackDown. Early today on social media, Gable commented on the name change. So say goodbye to the short guy. The last time you're going to see a short guy like this again, let me tell you, hashtag his name is Gable. So Shorty G finally decided to tell Vince McMahon, you can take this hokey, corny gimmick.
Turn that something sideways.
Huh?
That something sideways.
Right. Stick that bitch sideways and stick it that straight up. You can't eat. Get this gimmick out of here, man. But
thank God.
yeah, for real, man. Absolutely. I mean, I'm glad he did that, man. I'm glad he was able to possibly. I mean, I think it was probably him convincing creative backstage or even Vince McMahon, like, yo, we got to get rid of this gimmick if you really want a serious contender. But I hope WWE. Well, it feels like WWE is taking some notes from NXT. You know what I'm saying? Because their programming has been a lot better lately. They have been stepping up a lot better. James Storm on why WWE wanted to sign him.
Yeah, so James Storm recently commenting on an article. He was on a podcast, and he stated that WWE, he was like in talks and signing with WWE before COVID happened, and he said his role with WWE would have just been to help enhance the younger talent. So he was going to come in just to help put over guys and help with the younger talent that the WWE currently has.
Oh, interesting. So there was going to be no prominent role for him to win any gold.
I mean, things could change, because basically the fans determine, the fans are supposed to determine how you are.
Right.
So in some cases, like Seth Rollins and other people, it worked. For some people, like Zack Ryder, it didn't. So I guess it depends on who you are and how you rub the people the right way in backstage. But but initially the plan was for him to come and put over talent.
Interesting. We got another article. Dre. Drew McIntyre admits Randy Orton wasn't even trying in the past, stepping up with Edge feud. So, what's his name? Drew McIntyre. I'm going to just kind of paraphrase what he was saying. There's a pretty long article. He talked about how Randy Orton pretty much wasn't really giving his best. Matter of fact, let me just read the article. I think it'd be better if I just read the article. Read the clip I got. Just a little clip. So it says McIntyre discussed keeping up with the Viper and storylines and in the ring. And this is what Drew McIntyre says, because I mean, you got to be on your game in every possible way to try to keep up with someone like Randy Orton. I mean, in general, in the past, he wasn't really trying, admitted McIntyre. He was just so naturally gifted. He was one of the best in the world, but I don't know when it was, but I think it was around the time Edge came back. He suddenly found his next gear. He was so incredibly motivated and wanted to give it his all in his promos. His in-ring game, and also he wants to go out there and he wants to steal the show every single week. And it's a Randy I've never seen before. It motivates me personally because I know, okay, I got to step up to this level or his level. Interesting. Interesting, I think. Very interesting. I don't know. I don't know what to say about that. I think Randy Orton has had some great moments, but Randy Orton has been taking a back seat for a lot of other young talents to get a push. There was even that situation that happened with him and Christian where he didn't want the World Heavyweight Championship title, but he told Vince and he told Creative, he said, yo, keep the title on, let Christian have a run. And they weren't for it, and they put the belt on Randy. So I think certain moments where Randy wasn't really giving a lot were certain moments where Randy wanted to take a break from the spotlight. But there were a lot of moments where Randy really stepped up. And I think Randy had a reason to really step up and really give a lot, especially considering Edge, because Edge is one of his closest friends. and he wanted there to be a good return for Edge, and he wanted to have, sort of a good rivalry with Edge, especially upon his returning match. So of course, Randy's going to step it up. As for Drew McIntyre being champion is quite stale. Let's talk about that. He even, stated in an article a little bit more about how, he's always been the same guy and that he's been, pushing his limits and kind of doing a little bit better. But as far as him being world champion right now, it's quite stale. He doesn't give me a reason to watch Raw. I don't really care for Drew McIntyre as champion right now. I think he needs more. I need to see more out of Drew. I'm not entertained. I feel like whoever Drew is right now, that's all the Drew we're gonna get. I feel like this is the best of Drew. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like Drew is a decent player as far as a champion. But I think he needs to step it up. You know what I'm saying? I know he's trying to step it up to Randy's level, but I need more out of Drew. Like it's cool, but it's all right.
But I also feel too, like as far as Drew goes, like I feel like, as we said with Adam Cole and NXT, if without Drew being the champion, he just falls into the back of the line or in the middle. He gets lost in the shuffle, so to speak. Because what does he do?
Yeah, no, I get it. Like like Adam Cole or whomever. But that's the problem, though, right? I mean, isn't the problem that if a WWE superstar does not have gold and they fall by the wayside because they don't have a strong enough character, then that means they're just a paper champion. You know what I'm saying? Like,
right.
Like I look at people like The Miz. I look at people like The Miz, Samoa Joe, New Day, Seth Rollins even. You know what I'm saying? I could give Seth Rollins some credit, now with his Monday Night Messiah gimmick, because Seth Rollins has now tapped into that place where I don't have a belt, but I'm entertaining. And for me to get a belt would only just put more star power on the title, not put more star power on me because I am the star already. So that's the thing, is like you want to be a star before you have gold, not get gold to become a star. You know what I'm saying? And I think that's the problem with Drew. Like, Drew was becoming a star. He got the title. Now that he has the title, it's almost like, I don't think he's riding off of his laurels. I just think that Drew needs better feuds. Drew needs more interesting feuds, or he needs more of an interesting angle to he needs more depth to his character, I should say. Like, we need to see another depth, something a little bit more entertaining come out of him. You know what I'm saying? But as far as what Drew's been doing right now, it's just, it's not mediocre, but it's just, it's just able to just, keep you looking, but, not give you a reason to kind of tune in every Monday. You know what I'm saying? It's like, it's cool, but, I'm not really a fan of Drew. I like Drew, but I'm not a fan of Drew.
Right. Makes sense.
Yeah. I thought this one was very interesting. Triple H turns down running Raw. I think I heard about this before.
Yeah, so Triple H as well as Stephanie McMahon was approached about running Raw. Stephanie turned it down due to her, the current role she has with the women's division and running that, and so she's enjoying what she's doing with that. Triple H, on the other hand, turned down running Raw because he feels that running Raw isn't really running Raw, because you still got to go through Vince, you still got to come with an idea, and it's not like he's gonna have complete creative control to do what he wants, because whatever he decides to do, whatever he comes up with, it has to go through Vince, and if Vince doesn't like it, it's gonna get shut down. So yeah, so now if he would have gave Triple H full reigns, and Raw would have been amazing. Raw would be amazing, but yeah, so Triple H turned it down based off of his knowledge of what he'd have to go through with his creative ideas. Yeah,
it's interesting too. Like, I don't know if you felt this way, but I definitely felt this way when Kevin Owens won that Universal title. Mm-hmm. I really felt like that was really Triple H just saying, you know what, I'm gonna do it my way.
Yeah, I believe so.
I'm gonna do it my way. Yeah, and he was just like, I'm gonna do it. Forget the nonsense, forget all the BS. I'm gonna do it my way. Winning, he pedigree Seth Rollins and put that belt in Kevin Owens' hands, because again, he knew, like, A guy like Kevin was the future. A guy like Kevin needs to be up there. A guy like Kevin needs to be a top competitor, especially with those excellent matches he put against John Cena and how he came in from NXT. So it's like a guy like Triple H already knows what to do. NXT, when it comes to NXT, he knows what to do. We see that he knows what to do. You know what I'm saying? So the only thing you can do for Triple H is just ask him, how can I help you? That's it. How can I assist you? Let Triple H do it. Let him run the show. You know what I'm saying? Let him come up with the creative ideas and and he's gonna do it right. You know. But yeah, if I was Triple H, I'll turn down and run a Raw too. Like, you know, and I'll tell Vince, like, yo, look, Vince, if you won't let me do this, you're gonna let me do it. You can't interfere. You gotta, you know what I'm saying? Like, I would, you know, he would probably take some outside advice and ideas and stuff like that, but you gotta let me do it because, you know, I know what to do. So
right. look at my resume. Look at NXT.
Right, absolutely. You know, you got an excellent resume. Sean Keys is in the house. What's up, Sean? Thank you for doing this, John. I let your boy. What else we got? We got another interesting topic. I think this is funny. Keith Lee recording new entrance music.
Yeah. So your boy. So we all, you know, and loved and got used to Keith Lee's new entrance theme on NXT. Came to the main roster, and we all had an attitude with, you know, Keith Lee's, not only his look but his interest, his music. So you know, and we all criticized it. So, you know, Keith Lee decides to go and he's recording, you know, vocals to, you know, come up with new theme music. And this is because, you know, WWE is trying to, because we know, like, so WWE, I don't know if you know this, but they had a contract with, you know, different, bands to do their theme musics. Okay. So it went from Jim Johnson, you know, with, you know, he did The Rock, Stone Cold, Bret Hart, all those old in the 90s, the Attitude Era, let's say. Then they went to this group called CF $O or CFO $, something like that. Okay. And that was in the Keith Lee, that's what Keith Lee theme music was a part of. So they're trying to just get away from all of that. So now they have a new band. What's the name of this band? That they're Def Rebel. So now they're working with Def Rebel. So so Keith Lee is gonna do his theme music, and it's probably gonna be to recordings from Def Rebel. But yeah, so they're just trying to weed out all of the old theme music from other people.
So Keith Lee gonna come in like Shawn Michaels. I think I'm cute.
The old TV theme song, you know, he did his own theme song in NXT. So I mean, I hope he doesn't go to the HBK theme song, but you know, I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, no, that's cool. I want to see what he got, but I think that's cool. Him having some creative control over his character, you know, rather than him coming out, you know, to like some, you know, like how they just kind of slap this image on a character and give them, you know, whatever music they can, you know, or whatever music they have, whatever stock sounds they have or stock music they have, you know, all created. But that's cool though, you know what I'm saying? He has his own creative control over his character. We to that topic already. Here we go. Here we go. Seth Rollins on Roman Reigns, heel turn. And Seth Rollins quotes, "You're seeing the true Roman Reigns now." So, shots fired. I mean, that's interesting. Seth Rollins, he says on the episode of The Bump, Seth Rollins was quoted saying, "For anyone who knows Roman Reigns, as long as I have, you're going to know this isn't new." He noted Roman had to struggle for a long time to kind of closet this side of him. He is an alpha and he sees himself in this light and in this way. He's kind of just got a different lease on the situation. You're seeing the true Roman Reigns right now. Obviously, physically, he took his time off seriously. He's in the best shape that he's ever been in. His in-ring performances have followed suit. I say kudos to Roman Reigns for finally taking the bull by the horns instead of riding the bull. Great. So, you know, it definitely wasn't the title definitely wasn't what we thought it was. You know, he was really just kind of giving big ups to Roman Reigns, saying, you know, not trying to just go in the direction that they're giving you, but go in the direction that you know is going to benefit your career, give you a better spotlight, give you a better light, and where people can look back and reflect on, great points in your career and great chances you've taken, versus just trying to, I know, John Cena your way through the situation. Like I'm gonna get past the hate and I'm gonna fight past it because I am the big dog. Do all that crap, hokey stuff. Try to send positive vibes out to the atmosphere that everybody keep blocking, like Mutombo. You know what I'm saying? Like, nah, we don't want that. We don't want that. We ain't trying to hear that. We don't care. We don't care how positive you are. But this is definitely working for him. Sean Key says, so is it them finally giving him creative control? That's an excellent question. That's an excellent question. So I think I seen an article. I think I'm gonna try to pull it up, but I don't know. I don't know, Sean. I think he does. You know what? Yeah, I saw. A matter of fact, I've read an article a while back where they spoke about how Roman Reigns wanted this feud with Jey Uso so that he can put his family sort of like in the spotlight to really show their talent. So he wants to kind of bring his family up. He wants to bring Jey and Jimmy up with him. So he has some creative control in that area. Also, it was his decision to actually turn heel. He called Paul Heyman and he told Heyman that he wanted to turn heel, but they're working on this behind the scenes for a few months now. As a matter of fact, there was an article that was put out a while back where actually Roman wanted to turn heel, I think like a year ago or something like that, but they didn't want him to, something like that. So forgot what reason it was. Sean Key says, I did hear that about the family. Yeah. So yeah, but I think Roman does have some big say, because a lot of the decisions that have been happening concerning his character has came from Roman. Big E on why the New Day should stay separated following the WWE draft. Big E chimed in saying that the New Day should stay separated. I think this is very interesting. Big E recently spoke with Ryan Satin of Fox Sports, and was asked if we will continue to see unity between the New Day across both brands after Raw Tag Team Champions Kofi Kingston and Xavier Woods were sent to the Red brand in the 2020 WWE Draft. This week's Raw saw Big E watch from the WWE Thunderdome crowd while Kofi defeated Sheamus in a singles action match. Big E said it's possible, and he still wants some level of connectivity with Kingston and Woods, but he believes some separation might be a good thing for the group. Big E chimes in. He says, possibly. Big E answered, but if we're going to do the split, it's either we do it or we don't. I still want some level of connectivity, but there's going to be no clamoring for a reunion if I'm consistently around, or if they're consistently finding ways to be in my segments. I think that some separation could be a thing. I think it allows us to build some identity. I agree totally. As much as I want us to stay connected, I feel like as moving as Friday was for so many people, if next week I'm showing up at a Raw or wearing a lucha mask and pretending that I'm not Big E or Raw, and I'm teaming with them, and they're finding ways to get involved in my stuff, I feel like we've detracted from this really emotional, profound segment, at least to me. And from the response that we got from so many people, I feel like it takes away from that. We'll need to find ways. I think there's a bit of line here that we need to find a way to toe to still make sure we stay connected. But absence makes the heart grow fonder, and I want your heart to grow fonder. So Big E had excellent words. He put it great, and he put it, in such a great way. Definitely, Big E, if he's separated from New Day, he needs to stay separated. They should do the reunion. The only time I feel like they should do a reunion with the New Day, is if Huh?
Like pay-per-views, like Survivor Series, like a big event
Right.
with.
Right. Special occasions,
Right.
or if this run doesn't work well, then he needs to go back. You know what I'm saying? If his singles run is not working well, you know what I'm saying? And he's been at the singles run for about like 4 years or something like that. And his run doesn't, pan out as well as we thought it would be, then he needs to go back. But I think he's going to be good. Big E by himself is better to me. It's time for him to be pushed. This is what Sean Key says. He can really compete for the championship. Absolutely. I was definitely a Big E fan when he first came in, and I had high hopes and expectations for him. But due to the luck of the New Day, he was able to get the actual proper light and the proper attention that he's so well deserved as a performer. You know what I'm saying, and as a superstar, because he wasn't getting the love that he should have gotten. I don't know why. Well, I mean, I have my thoughts, but I don't want to share too much of them. But you know, um, certain superstars don't get certain love for certain reasons. But he should have got the love. But then also was the push too. They could have pushed him a little bit better. I felt like they could have. This one was very interesting. Big E says Damian Sandow and Alicia Fox were considered for the New Day. So Big E talks about how they were coming up with ideas about how they're going to form this group, and how they were considering different people to be part of the New Day. And Damian Sandow and Alicia Fox was once part of the conversation of being part of the New Day. Very interesting. Very interesting. Before I hit this one juicy article I want to hit, but before we hit that, I'll probably save that one for last. Lance Storm on Retribution. Lance Storm, you hit it right on the nail. He said, "I wouldn't be the most excited if I was in the group of Retribution." So Lance Storm chimes in about Retribution, and he gives his feelings on it, his take. Lance Storm, he says, former Intercontinental former Intercontinental Champion and WCW United States Champion Lance Storm sat down with Wrestling Inc. managing editor Nick Hausman on a recent episode of Wrestling Inc. Daily. They were here discussing the current landscape of WWE. Dominic Mysterio has grown into, all right, he started talking, all right, so let's get to what he says. He says, so Horseman brought up Retribution and their perplexing development on the most recent episode of Raw. Storm agreed that Retribution has been an enigma, and he pointed out that Mercedes Martinez, the survivor, as she is no longer associated with the group. So he's saying she dodged the bullet. This is what Lance Storm says. He says, "I wouldn't be the most excited if I was in the group," Storms admitted. Mercedes Martinez might be breathing a sigh of relief. She's been the survivor and scooted out before whatever they're doing is now happening. Damn. She definitely dodged the bullet. She dodged the bullet. Didn't you have an article?
I did.
Okay, so about Randy Orton.
Oh, yes. So there was an article I was reading that states that now this is a rumor. I don't know if it's gonna happen tomorrow, but the rumor is that Randy Orton goes on to beat Drew McIntyre, and with him beating Drew McIntyre, he gets help from Retribution. And the census of it is that Randy Orton would be the mastermind behind Retribution, while Ali would be the leader.
See, and that would work a little bit better. But, well, my question is, do any of you guys think that Retribution can be saved? Let's start there. Sean Key says Retribution could have and should have been a way better faction than it was. Totally agree. It was Retribution had the potential to be a strong faction, and but their entrant, the way they came in, and who they chose, and what they're doing, is definitely letting down expectations. Any expectations we may have had for this group, they very well have fallen short of the mark. I told Jay earlier, I said, the only belt I could see them holding is probably like the 24/7 championship from R-Truth. And Jay was like, well, he said Ali gonna probably win the freaking 205 championship and then bring it over, holding it like he's a heavyweight champion. So, they definitely let down expectations. But I mean, my question is, do any of you guys think that Retribution can be saved right now? I mean, because I heard that Vince wants to give up on it a while back, and they have not been really going over. Like this Monday night, the Fiend took out like everybody in the group by himself, and then they were beaten by who? Who did they lose to again? The Hurt Business, right?
Business, yeah, and then they got demolished by the Fiend.
So Sean Key says Jessica can be saved by introducing new people and a stronger leader or mastermind or whatever. Yeah, that could work. That could definitely work. But they definitely have to they definitely have to revamp Retribution, or get rid of T-Bar, Slapjack, and Mace.
Yeah,
T-Bar.
That's something they need to just put in a spin cycle and just start over. Like hit the reset button on it.
T-Bar. Can you imagine being threatened by a dude named T-Bar on the phone? Be like, yo, son, I'ma come to your crib, son. Yo, word to my mom, son, I'ma come through with the hammer, son. Yo, word, I'm gonna shoot everything up. What you talking about? You ain't gonna shoot nothing up. Who are you, man? Who are you? I'm T-Bar. T-Bar. They call me T-Bar on these streets. He said, what?
What about Slapjack? Like, hey, I'm
Slapjack.
It's a game.
Slapjack. T-Bar. His name is T-Bar. T-Bar. Slapjack. This is horrible, Jay. What's going on, man? What is going on? All right. Superstars reveal their favorite horror movies. What we got, Jay?
So, hold on.
T-Bar.
So, WWE superstars revealed their favorite movies. So, in spirit of it being October and Halloween,
yeah,
a lot of superstars went on to reveal what their favorite scary movies are.
Okay.
So we'll start with Alexa Bliss. Alexa Bliss' favorite movie is The Ring.
That was a good movie. That was a pretty good movie. That was a good movie. I finally seen it. Wait,
which one? Did you see the original one or the remake that they recently came out with it?
I seen the original.
Okay.
Seen the original.
I saw the original. I started watching like the new one, but I lost interest.
They got a new Ring?
Yeah, it came out a couple years ago.
Yeah, I'm gonna check it out because I seen the first one. I liked the first one. It was good.
Cesaro said he doesn't like horror movies, but the last one he saw was the OG Blair Witch Project.
Okay. All right, Cesaro.
Yeah, Xavier Woods liked Hostel.
Who?
Xavier Woods.
He likes Hostel. Okay, that was a good one.
Billy Kay likes Scream.
Trash.
So Liv Morgan, her favorites is Chucky, Nightmare on Elm Street, The Hills Have Eyes, and Edward Scissorhands. She said she couldn't choose.
Yeah, those are some good ones right there.
Zelina Vega likes Hocus Pocus, Nightmare Before Christmas, Nightmare on Elm Street, and honorable mention to Leprechaun and Candyman because they legit scare her.
Who said Leprechaun and Candyman? I mean,
Zelina Vega.
Okay.
Tucker said he doesn't like being scared. It's not one of his favorite emotions. He picked Halloween, the birds, and Silence of the Lamb because they're art.
Okay.
Peyton Royce.
Wait,
Yeah,
who picked the birds in Silence of the Lambs? Sorry.
Tucker.
He said because they're art.
Yeah, he doesn't like scary movies, but he liked those because they're art.
Oh God. Okay.
So Peyton Royce goes on to say she doesn't like them, but she saw Texas Chainsaw Massacre back in the day, and she doesn't like it when her heart rate increases like that.
Okay.
And Keith Lee goes on to say, when he has done for the theater, like what? Hold on, this is my first time reading it. Mm-hmm. Any when he has done for the theater with Io Shirai or Jessamine Duke, because I get them the greatest joy laughing at them screaming. My joy comes from laughing at others' terror at horror movies because they don't do anything except make laughs for me most of the time. Okay, so Keith Lee just likes to see other people scream at horror movies. So yeah.
So I'm just finding out that some of these WWE superstars are boring. Yeah, some of them that name some good movies, and then some of them don't even watch them. Like Cesaro's like, I don't even like scary movies. So what do you do, Cesaro, besides lift weights and lift people? What do you do? Yeah, do something. What do you do? You know, besides do kettlebell workouts. You know. Dang, man. So I figured they, I thought they was gonna have like some interesting movies that they watched. You know what I'm saying? Like bring up some good ones. But Liv Morgan has some good ones. Chucky, Friday the 13th. I'm sorry, Nightmare on Elm Street, and what was the other one she said?
Let's see. Liv Morgan, Nightmare on Elm Street, Chucky, The Hills Have Eyes, and Edward Scissorhands.
Yeah. Those are dope. Yeah, those are dope movies.
So Zelina Vega's picks, Hocus Pocus, Nightmare Before Christmas, those are like more, I wouldn't say they was a horror movies. Nightmare Before Christmas definitely wasn't a horror movie.
Definitely wasn't. Hocus Pocus wasn't a horror movie. It was like a kid's fantasy movie. Like it wasn't really like. Anyway, let's move forward. Daniel Bryan says he's in his last run as a full-time WWE superstar. We all seen this coming. We know it was coming. We knew that time was going to come. Those neck injuries are no joke. No joke. And Daniel, he really pushed himself to really come back. After last night's SmackDown finished up on FS1, Talking Smack aired with co-hosts Kyla Braxton and WWE Hall of Famer Booker T. Daniel Bryan appeared on the show as a special guest and spoke about how he expects this run with the WWE to be his last as a full-time competitor. Booker T initially brought up how Daniel Bryan was one of the oldest superstars in the locker room, which Bryan quickly shot down. Actually, to be fair, I'm not one of the oldest guys in the locker room, Bryan said. I just act the oldest. He laughs. It's that dad life. Daniel also goes on to say, I haven't said anything about this, but in my mind, this is kind of my last run, Bryan said. You know what I mean? This is my last run as a full-time superstar. Booker T then joked with the WWE Universe just got a scoop, but Bryan felt like it was already kind of known without him saying it already. It's not really a scoop. This is what Daniel says. He says it's not really a scoop. I think you can feel it, even just the way that I approach things and the way that my mentality is as far as my view towards younger people and all kinds of stuff. Bryan continued, as I'm doing this last run. My thing isn't I got to prove to everybody that I'm the best when I'm out there. I'm proving things to myself, and I want things better for the younger talent. The WWE Universe is really going to miss this guy. I wasn't a big fan of Daniel, but I am a big fan of his work in the sense that I give props where props is due. That's what I mean by a fan of his work. Like he's definitely he's definitely like he's definitely a legend. He had one of the greatest WrestleManias of all time. That at WrestleMania that he had was definitely one of the best. It was well needed, especially for how WrestleManias have been, during that era, around that time. So What do you think about this, Dan? What do you guys think about Daniel Bryan's last? I think we all know that like this was his last run. We seen how he came off the neck injury. He came back. He wrestled a little bit. Then he got hurt again. Then he, came back again, and then he just kind of like wrestled a little bit, and then he wrestled. He had the championship. Then he, had his run again as champion, and he did his thing, which was cool. He was able to have another great WrestleMania. And that should be noted. He had like two great WrestleManias, moments where he won, one where he dropped the belt to Kofi. That was like two great moments. You know what I'm saying? He was able to pass off gold to somebody who deserved it. You know what I'm saying? And coming off of a great heel run. So, yeah, man. But fans really gonna miss this guy, man. Mr. Yeselmania.
Yeah, I mean they definitely are. And I guess they're trying to transition him for that because obviously he's been gone, with the birth of his newest big child. Well, him and Bree's newest child. He was going to be dad for a while, but we don't know Daniel Bryan personally, but he does give up that look like that, and that first shot like he's an old man, because he just has that demeanor about him, and then on Total Divas how he doesn't. He's an old-fashioned guy, so he does go off that persona that like he's an old man, and so I can see that from him.
Yeah, yeah, we all seen it coming. It's been good though. Definitely was a good run, but he helped. But hey, I say this about Daniel. Daniel definitely helped things change. Daniel Bryan, again, like he was the guy who, again, he's the guy who stuck around to see the change that CM Punk talked about needed to be changed. Like he was the guy who stayed around to help that change become a reality.
Right.
CM Punk left. CM Punk complained about it. He cried about it. And then he left, you know what I'm saying? And he's still on the sidelines complaining about it now, But that's one of the reasons I have a lot of respect for Daniel. I'm still not a fan of his wrestling. I'm not like a big fan of his, but I like him. I'm just a fan. I just have a lot of respect for Daniel. I'm a fan of Daniel, the person, But I like Daniel Bryan. You know what I'm saying? I definitely like this guy. You know what I'm saying? I like the character that I've read about backstage and certain things that he stood for, and just what he did though. You know what I'm saying? Like CM Punk complained, but he stayed and he made sure the change was made. You know what I'm saying? And he put his body on the line for that. You know what I mean? He rushed out of his injury sabbatical and made sure that change was made. I mean, and it's so crazy because. And it's like people stop cheering CM Punk, but it's crazy because it's like if CM Punk come back now, people will go crazy. But I mean, I don't know. I feel like at this point, I feel like CM Punk don't deserve that. I feel like he don't deserve it.
I think that. I mean, of course, we know they'll cheer him, but I guess it would be more so because something different. You know what I'm saying? Somebody new instead of the old, because anytime a superstar comes back, they always get that big reaction, a big pop. So I think it'll be more so because of that.
It's crazy because you know what? I think we should talk about this real quick.
Okay.
Wrestlers that you became wrestlers that made you a fan. But then you stop becoming a fan of them.
Huh?
So wrestlers that wrestlers that made you a fan, I'm saying, say Seth Rollins came in, you were a fan of Seth Rollins, but then after a while you stopped becoming a fan of Seth Rollins. Like you know what I'm saying?
Okay, I got you.
Right. You know what I'm saying? You get what I'm saying? Wrestlers like these guys in the beginning, you were big fans of them, and then it was just like career choices they probably made, or just poor not poor matches, but just poor things that happened with them that you were just like, all right, you know what, I'm done. Like, whatever favor I had towards this guy, it's like it's all faded out.
Right.
Do you have any of those guys?
You put me on the spot with that one. I gotta really go think about that. I have an answer for you for the next show because I definitely gotta really think about that. That's one of the questions that you gotta really think about.
Wrestlers who made you a fan, but then you stopped liking them, I guess. I guess I'm gonna put that up. I'm gonna put that up. Wrestlers who made you a fan, but then you stopped liking them. You don't have nobody. There's gotta be a few dudes that you were fans of, and you were just like, man. He's like, I was a fan of this guy, but it's like, eh.
I really would have to think about it.
I got a few. I think I have a few.
Okay.
I have a few. CM Punk is one of them. I know, like, talking about CM Punk is like everybody always talk. We've been talking about CM Punk for years, and he ain't even wrestling anymore because he left such a great impression at the end of his career. But CM Punk was one of them. I was not a fan of CM Punk, became a fan, and then it was just like he dropped the ball. I stopped liking him. I was a fan of Edge. I was like a small fan of Edge before he became world champ. Like a little bit after he became world champion, he got the championship. Edge became like this transitional champion, this like kind of low. And people won't admit this, but this is the fact that Edge is like the poor man's version of Triple H. People will not admit that. They will never admit that, but that's the truth. He was like the poor man's version. He was a transitional champion who would hold the belt for like a month or 22 days or 20 days and then give it up to somebody else. And then just to get the belt back like 2 months or 3 months later or a month later or whatever it was. He was always playing hot potato with the belt. And he talked about, he's had, however many world championship reigns, like 10 or something like that. And it's like, yeah, because you dropped 10 times and never held the belt no more than like 3 months. I think the longest reign he had was 3 months, and that's when he actually had to give up the belt due to neck injury. But yeah, like Edge was one of them. Who's another person that I was?
John Cena.
John Cena. I was a fan of John Cena, and then after he got his first title reign, I was like, what the hell is happening to this show? John Cena is one of them. Who else? Who's another one? Can I think of somebody else? Wrestlers who we were fans of, but then we stopped liking them. Who else?
I don't know. Like I said, that's John Cena just popped in my head, but I would have to literally like think about it because it's a lot of wrestlers. I mean, some of them I like, and some of them I don't want to say I don't like, but some of them it's just like, all right, do I kind of do like you still, or is it? Are you in that okay category? You know what I'm saying? So.
Yeah. Right. Yeah, that's true. All right, let's get to Hell in a Cell. Hell in a Cell predictions. Hell in the Cell predictions. So we're about to wrap the show up. We are close to an hour. We have 10 more minutes. So let's get into it. So the match card we have is Kevin Owens versus Aleister Black. We have Dominic versus Seth Rollins versus Murphy. We have The Miz versus Otis. Winner takes Money in the Bank contract. We have Jeff Hardy versus Elias. We have SmackDown Women's Championship, Bayley versus Sasha. We have Drew McIntyre versus Randy Orton for the WWE Championship. And the closing match is Universal Championship Roman Reigns versus Jey Uso in a Hell in a Cell I Quit match. Let the predictions begin. All right.
Well,
Kevin Owens and Aleister Black.
Well, first and foremost, I personally feel Bailey and Sasha should end the show, but that's just my personal opinion. But Kevin Owens and Alice, I'm tired of them, to be honest with you. Jeez. I think it goes to Aleister. I believe Seth Rollins won the last. Kevin Owens won the last two. I think it goes to Aleister.
I thought it was too soon for this feud. I thought it was way too soon for the feud, especially for Aleister. Aleister still needed to work with. I felt like Aleister needed to work through more people, but Aleister, Kevin, and you said Kevin won the last match.
I believe so. Yeah.
Yeah, I think Kevin's going to win this one.
Okay.
I give it to Kevin. I think Kevin's going to win. I just don't feel a lot of fire from this feud. I feel like Aleister is being used as a jobber right now, as a work.
Yeah.
I don't think they're really they're investing any time into his character. And then I heard also that Aleister Black was actually Paul Heyman's project.
Yeah, I've heard it.
Yeah, so he's one of his projects. So a lot of Paul Heyman projects have not been treated properly. Aleister Black being one of them. So if you guys are tuning in, we are doing the Hell in a Cell predictions right now. We just recently went through Kevin Owens versus Aleister Black. You guys can tell me what your predictions are for the Hell in a Cell 2020. We want to know what you guys think. Drop a comment in the comment section below. The next prediction we have is, what do you guys think? Who's going to win this match? Dominic versus Seth Rollins versus Murphy.
Oh my God!
You don't even care for the match. He's like, do I really have to predict the winner for this match?
It's gonna be a triple count out. I don't know. Like, like why? Oh my God!
You want to move forward? Let's move forward. All right. Who cares, right?
Yeah,
let's move forward. All right. The Miz versus Otis, when it takes all Money in the Bank contract match.
This is interesting.
Right. This one is interesting. Who do you think is going to win?
I can honestly see it going both ways.
And what do you? Okay, right. Either one.
Yeah, but I can see Otis winning, and he actually containing Money in the Bank like it's supposed to, and I can see the Miz winning because there was an article where it was part of the rumors that we kind of forgot, but once that. That championship moment where he wants to at least hold the WWE championship at least one more time. So I can see him winning to get that moment because we know he's not going to win, a fair one-on-one straight up championship match. So I can see it going either way. But to make a prediction, it's a tough one. I'm gonna go with the Miz. Because I think the Miz will bring more prestige to it. He'll bring, he'll make it relevant again because Otis had it. We completely forgot Otis even has it. So I think Miz somehow pulls it off.
Okay, so Miz pulls it off. Miz pulls it off, and what happens next? Because if Miz pulls it off and he wins the Money in the Bank briefcase, he has to cash it on somebody. So it's either Drew or Roman. And we all know right now with Roman, they're not trying to drop that belt.
Right. So since Miz is on Raw, it's definitely gonna go to Drew or Randy or whoever. But again, he's not gonna have a straight one-on-one match. It's gonna be after a hard-fought match, and just like the typical Money in the Bank cash-ins after a hard match, even if, well, not necessarily the Fiend, but either Randy or Drew, one of them, he'll cash in, or depending on whoever the champion has a feud with at some point. But I can see him cashing on. He's going to cash in on somebody on Raw, not because we all know that Roman's going to keep the belt for quite some time.
I'm gonna tell you what's going to be crazy though. What's going to be crazy is if Otis or like the Miz gets the briefcase and cashes it in on like the Intercontinental Championship, I'd be like, this was such a waste of time.
Yeah.
Like if they cash it on anything less than a Universal or World Championship title, it'd be like this is a waste of time.
I mean, because remember at first for what long time we said that he was going to cash it in on the tag champs, but since him and Tucker split up, that can't happen. So unless that'd be a way of bringing him and Tucker back together on the same brand, maybe. But yeah.
Okay. But, I think my predictions for this match is I think my predictions for this match is okay. This is a shot in the dark, but I feel like the Miz is going to win it.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like the Miz is going to win it. He's going to beat Otis. He's going to win the Money in the Bank briefcase, and he's going to find somebody to cash it in on. If he doesn't cash it in, I think what's going to happen is what they're going to do is they're going to make Otis or Miz the first ever Money in the Bank winners to never be able to cash in the briefcase before the expiration time. I think that's what they're going to do if they don't cash it in, because if Randy is supposed to go over on Drew, then I don't see Miz taking the belt from Randy.
But then he beat Randy in his first title run.
He did, right? I thought about that. Or this is what they could do, because remember, Randy Orton is a 13-time world champion.
Mm-hmm.
What they could do is have the Miz win the briefcase from Otis, cash it in on Randy after Randy wins the belt, and then have Randy go over and beat the Miz. The Miz holds it for like a month or whatever. They'll just, slap the title on him. Have Randy take the title off him, because they really put most of their money on Randy rather than the Miz. And then Randy becomes a 14-time world champion. I'm sorry, 15-time world champion, being close to tying with John Cena.
I can see that.
I can see that being a possibility. But I'm gonna give this one to Miz. All right. Next one is Jeff Hardy versus Elias.
Jeff.
Mm-hmm. I give this one to Elias.
Okay.
I think they're going to give it to Elias because he's they need to get him over because he hasn't been on programming for a while.
But he doesn't win.
Huh?
He doesn't really win anyway, so that's why I said Jeff.
He doesn't. He's only good for a gimmick.
Right.
SmackDown Women's Championship, Bayley versus Sasha.
I pray it's boss time because I'm tired. I don't want to hear no ding dong. Hello, no.
Hey, listen. So check this out. So I was going to put this up in news and rumors, but this is not really like a news or rumor. But I think this is something that we're aware of, but we're not kind of aware of, but we are, whatever. All right. So Bayley didn't sign. Bayley said she's not going to sign the contract for the Hell in a Cell match. She's never signed the contract.
She did.
So she did on SmackDown, because I didn't see SmackDown.
Yeah. Sasha ended up attacking her, putting her. First, she put her head in a chair and was gonna make her sign it that way, but Bayley kicked her and got out of it. But then she put her in like a camel clutch kind of. I guess it was supposed to be the bank statement with Bayley's head being wrapped, her half of her body being stuck in the chair. So she ended up signing it that way.
Okay. Oh, so she did sign the contract. Okay.
Yeah, she was forced to sign it, basically.
She was forced to sign it. All right. So your hopes. So you sound doubtful about Sasha going over.
Yeah, because I feel like it's been too soon. I hope that Sasha wins, but for some reason I feel like they want to like try to amp that feud up a little bit more. So I see Bayley somehow winning, and then they kind of prolonging the feud. But I want Sasha to actually win, so I'm gonna say Sasha.
Okay. Yeah, because I could see them milking this feud to WrestleMania.
Yeah. I
could see them milking it because they don't because they don't have any big female title bouts for WrestleMania right now.
Yeah, that's true.
They have no big female title bouts, you know. And I heard that they're trying to get Ronda back. So,
yeah, I heard that they're looking for Ronda and Becky Lynch to somehow have a match at Mania. So that's the room. That's what's been talked about right now.
Yeah, and Asuka doesn't really have anybody to feud with. Asuka can right now. Asuka can hold this belt for another year, and we wouldn't care. Not because we don't like her, because we really like her. And Cena with the belt is like great, you know. Asuka got the belt. Like I'm cool with Asuka having this belt. You know, I'm cool with her having it a long time. You know what I'm saying? But it's just that she don't have any formidable rivals, like somebody to really.
Well, as soon as Shayna and as soon as they break up this honeymoon with Shayna and Nia, I would love to see Shayna go after the, Raw Women's Championship and actually win it this time.
Right. I think that's what they should do. I think that's what they should do. They should really, but they should work that in there, because it seemed like that's what they were trying to do, work Shayna into the equation of having her go after. Well, I mean, they were trying with the Raw title, but then we seen how that happened. How Vince McMahon said he didn't get Shayna Baszler or whatever. But
and hey, I wouldn't mind seeing Shayna those straps.
Yeah, that'd be dope.
So
this women's SmackDown Women's Championship match, I don't see. I definitely agree. I definitely don't see Sasha Banks winning this match. Somehow Bayley's gonna escape. She's gonna get out. She's gonna weasel away. Or, you know what? I can't. You know what? I say I don't. I say I don't see it. But I'm gonna say Sasha. I'm gonna say Sasha's gonna win this belt. She's gonna win a belt. But Bayley's gonna get it back. I know it's a hell of a shot in the dark, but hey, I'm gonna go for it. All right, Drew McIntyre versus Randy Orton. Predictions.
Please, God, if they're Randy.
Yeah, definitely. I definitely want Randy to win this. Drew needs a refresher. He needs the belt taken away from him so that he can, go back on that hunt again, to be hungry again. Because I mean, Drew McIntyre is he's there. So I hope Randy. I got Randy too. All right. Last match, and we're gonna wrap this up. Universal Championship: Roman Reigns versus Jay.
Well, I'm obviously Roman hands down, but it's funny how the stipulation. And so let me get this straight. I don't know if you saw the segment.
I seen the segment.
So is it if Roman wins, Jay and Jimmy are out of the family, or is it that if Roman wins, Jay has to obey and serve Roman, and if he doesn't, he's out of the family? I believe it's the second one.
Yeah, something like that.
Because that's how I guess they're gonna have. That's how they're gonna make that Roman faction. While him beating Jay, and then him and Jimmy has to follow Roman's commands.
Yeah, I mean, if they make the faction like that, I would have preferred for the Usos to just had join him. But I get why Roman wanted to have that one-on-one match with Jay, because if he prolongs it that way, then Jay can get big money in a main event match, on a main marquee, and then it makes for an interesting feud. Like, I think this feud is pretty interesting. Like, I think it's a pretty hot feud to watch Jay and Roman kind of go back and forth. I think the only thing about it, though, because what doesn't make this feud believable, because it's very predictable in itself.
Right.
If Jay beats him, Roman Reigns, I'll give you 50. I will cash app you $50. Word to my mother. Jay, I will cash app you $50 just because of the unpredictability of them actually taking the Universal title off of Roman Reigns and putting it on Jey Uso. But I don't see them. I don't see them putting the Universal title on Jey Uso. Would it be a good idea to have Jey Uso win the Universal title? Absolutely. I think it'll be pretty cool just to watch one of the twins, one of the Usos, win the belt and to see what that could actually be. Like, what would that actually look like? It's almost like watching Kofi Kingston get the world title. You know what I'm saying? It's like, yo, you did it. Like, oh, this is crazy. This is wild crazy, you know?
So to further add to your point, I also was reading another article. I completely forgot about it, but when you said that, it came back to my mind.
Okay.
It said that Roman could potentially take a short-term retirement with COVID potentially, rising again. So if that's the case, and I heard that a name they're trying to possibly bring Goldberg back to have Goldberg transition to take the belt from Roman, and then when Roman, after the COVID dies down, Roman comes back. That's what I was hearing. But yeah, outside of that, I mean, that would be cool if Jay, somehow pulls off this miraculous fairy tale story win. But I'm sure Roman's gonna somehow dominate this match.
Yeah. You know what? I'm gonna tell you what I think is gonna happen. Okay, in this match with Jay and Roman, Jimmy's gonna interfere again.
Mm-hmm. You think he's gonna attack Jay?
Huh?
You think he's gonna attack Jay and make Jay, lose, so therefore he has to obey, similar to how the Bellas were with Stephanie?
Maybe. But if Jay wins this belt, and I know it sounds crazy. But if Wrestling Talks had existed, and was it 2018 or no 17? It was when Jinder Mahal won the World Heavyweight Championship.
Mm-hmm.
Like I felt like I knew he was going to win. Like, I didn't read no rumors, no reports, anything. Me and my wife were sitting there. We were watching the pay-per-view. We were sitting up there, and I said to my wife, I said, Jinder's going to win the belt. She's like, how do you know? I said, because it was so random. Like, they just like out of nowhere, boom, he's fighting Randy Orton for the World Heavyweight Championship. Jinder Mahal, like he didn't even work up the ranks. He just got like tossed into the match with him. You know what I'm saying? So it was like, I guess so it was just like, it was very random. And I was like, they don't have, I'm like, they go to Saudi Arabia. Mm-hmm. So, they have, sort of a Muslim, they have a Muslim or Hindu following. So, because Saudi Arabia is, mainly ran by, the main religion in Saudi Arabia is Muslim, but Islamic, but to have someone who favors, the people in Saudi Arabia, and they wanted to build a strong fan base with people, the Saudis, they have somebody like Jinder Mahal win the belt. Though you have, what's the other guy named Mansoor? Every time he fights at Crown Jewel, he wins a match, but you never see him in any other. Oh, sorry, 205, right? He fights him 205, right? But whatever. He's Superman over there in Crown Jewel. He's Superman. But yeah. So, but when he fought in that match, when that match happened, I was like, yo, Jinder Mahal is gonna win. And when he won, I was like, yeah, I seen it. And then it was so crazy because you seen a little kid. He was like, what? It's like he won. Like, how did he win?
Right.
So we had some really like surprising victories, like when Bray Wyatt won and when he won at Elimination Chamber, Jinder Mahal, Kofi Kingston. Those are like the three like shocking title changes that happened in the last like 5 years. Like, we've never seen nothing like that before. Never.
Right.
We knew, like, when the Miz won the Money in the Bank, that there was a gamble. we knew that they were going to bet on the Miz. We knew the Miz was going to cash that in. We knew Ziggler was going to cash in and win. You know, we thought that Damian Sandow was going to cash in, but he actually didn't. So, he tried to, and you know,
right.
But yeah, but Jay. So so my point is just Jay. If Jay so happens to beat Roman Reigns, so happens, and you mentioned that rumor about the whole COVID-19, the recent rise of COVID-19. They haven't found a vaccine for it. This COVID-19 thing is not getting better. I read an article that a wrestler actually passed away from COVID-19. I don't know who the wrestler was. I didn't read into the full article, but I've seen the title. I didn't read into it yet. But, you know, with this COVID-19, you know, kind of rising and Roman having his health issues, so they're going to bring in Goldberg to take the belt. That's not going to be good.
Yeah.
And it's not going to be good because, it's not going to be good. It's like you could just put the belt on Jay or put the belt on, you know, the Miz, or put the belt on Kofi again, or put the belt on Ziggler, or put the belt on Braun, put the belt back on Braun. You know what I'm saying? Like, but
the only problem with that is everybody you just named outside of Ziggler's on Raw.
Right. It doesn't matter. I'm always say Ziggler. I'm always say Dolph Ziggler. I don't care. I don't care if he's in China. I'm gonna say Dolph Ziggler. But yeah, you're right. But yeah, I don't know. I think we already kind of know. So from what we've been pretty much saying, this sounds like this could be a pretty predictable Hell in a Cell.
Pretty much.
Because I would really hate, you know, to be up, you know, watching this daggone pay-per-view and then, you know, almost going past my bedtime because I got to wake up early for work and then, you know everything that's going to actually happen. I want to see something. You know, we got to see something different. I want something different on this pay-per-view. I need something different. Right. I don't want to be sitting there, you know, I paid $10 a month for this stupid app. I want to see something different, WWE. Show me something different. Don't show me no daggone Retribution with Ali, you know, stinking up the place. I want you to show me something different. I want something different. All right, let's wrap this up. So we thank you guys for joining us for another edition of Wrestling Talks and Thoughts. Drop your predictions below in the comment section if you are catching the replay. We want to know what you guys think about what's going to happen at tomorrow's Hell in a Cell. Who do you think are going to win their matches? Do you think Randy Orton is going to come out world champion? Do you think that Jey Uso is going to come out world universal champion? Do you think that Sasha Banks is going to finally get her her SmackDown Women's Championship title and get a revenge on Bayley? We want to know what you guys' thoughts are. We're going to return to you guys on Tuesday to talk a little bit about Raw, but mainly to talk about Hell in a Cell and kind of recap a little bit about the show, whether it was a predictable show or whether it was a good show or whether it was a surprising show. But we will find out the outcome tomorrow watching Hell in a Cell. All right, so I am your host, Saheem the Dream. Until next time.
Peace.
Later.